All right, guys. Today we are gonna be reacting to Leopard tank attacks Russian tank convoy and destroy them. Jump in.
Advancing toward Ukrainian positions, unaware that a Ukrainian Leopard tank is waiting for them. With precise shots, it takes out the lead vehicles in the column and continues firing on targets within its range. The remaining APCs attempt to escape along the only available road, but they don't succeed. The armored vehicles ignite one after another from the Leopard's precise hits, as if they had no armor at all. Abandoning their destroyed vehicles, some Russian soldiers attempt to take cover from the gunfire in forested areas. But under such intense fire, their chances of survival are slim. The Leopard doesn't stop and continues the assault,
Look at that tank,
destroying the remaining remnants.
You guys saw that Leopard? you see that monster. Oof. That thing. I'm telling you, if I say a Leopard, man, I would just be running the other way. I'm not even attempting to just go against that thing. That thing is strong. Leopards are very strong.
The column that failed to react to its
And
opponents.
flexible too.
The Russians hope to reach the settlement as quickly as possible to somehow increase their chances of survival. But it is now clear that this offensive has completely failed. Just a single Ukrainian Leopard tank was able to destroy almost the entire Russian convoy. And even when the remnants of the equipment entered the village, it continued to pursue them and fire. Give a thumbs up to the brave Ukrainian tank crew who single-handedly started and won this battle. And for the few APCs that managed to break through the fire, Ukrainian soldiers are waiting, ready to greet them on their land with javelins and drones. And without equipment and reinforcements, they can no longer hide.
Yo, we're almost, yeah.
This Russian tank was
there.
lucky enough to escape the Leopard's fire and even leave the battlefield, but its escape was halted by a well-hidden mine.
Ooh.
The Russians hoped to carry out this assault quickly, and it indeed ended quickly, but not in their favor. They started losing equipment even before reaching the settlement. First, the convoy came under a drone attack, and later it was shelled by artillery. Despite the losses, the Russians continued their advance. But the closer they got to the village, the fiercer the resistance became. A few units of armored vehicles tried to bypass from another side, but got stuck near the lake and instantly paid the price for it. But even the Russians who managed...
Damn. Golly. Damn. Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know about this, man. Can we keep going?
to enter the village didn't have much luck.
Damn.
They found themselves in an unfavorable position and were attacked from almost all sides. Quick and reckless decisions often lead to such failures, and this time they experienced firsthand why it was a mistake to advance on these Ukrainian positions. The rest of the column couldn't even get close enough to begin the assault. As soon as it became clear that the mission had failed, the Russians abandoned their equipment and began retreating. During this assault, the Russians overestimated their strength. As soon as the convoy of vehicles approached within striking distance, the Ukrainians launched an attack, using every weapon in their arsenal.
Incredible.
Operators of FPV drones and drone with explosives began a relentless hunt, giving the enemy no time to regroup or react. If luck is on their side, the target will be destroyed with a single strike, and then the flames will finish the job. A tank can move quite fast, but a drone is faster. If it fails to hit the tank with explosives, there's a high chance an FPV drone will catch up with it.
And this is the difference between the German tanks and Russian tanks. German tanks, they have anti-drones system. I don't know if the Leopard has one, but they have. At this point, if they're using German technology, right? I mean, Do they have anti-drones? By now, some of these drones will not even be throwing those bombs. So Russia's behind, though. When it comes down to technology, I have to say, and I react to German stuff in my other channels. They're kind of behind, though. They're a little bit behind.
The tank operator begins rotating the turret, searching for the source of the strike.
Yeah, no, they
But
can't.
the one responsible is well out of reach.
Yeah, they don't even
And
know.
while he searches for the enemy, Ukrainian soldiers are already preparing to launch the next batch of birds to take vengeance on those who came uninvited onto their land. 2 tanks have been destroyed, and the others are next in line. The Russians attempt to scatter in different directions to avoid fire, but an accurate javelin strike quickly finds its mark, taking out another armored vehicle.
Oh my god.
A few more enemy tanks try to return fire through the thick smoke, but they are immediately hit by a massive drone strike. At first, the Ukrainians suppressed the assault by dropping explosives one by one, and as soon as the right moment came, they struck with anti-tank missile systems. After the Russians panicked and abandoned the tank, it was only a matter of calmly finishing it off.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, you have. The thing is that you have to. At that point, you have to. You have to, man. And millions of dollars just wasted there, man. That's crazy.
Some of the Russians thought that their convoy was lucky to avoid the bombardment because they had chosen a different route for the attack. However, their joy was short-lived. This APC ran straight into an anti-tank mine and immediately came to a halt, allowing the crew to abandon the damaged vehicle. Immediately after that, another APC fell into the same trap. A path that initially seemed safe turned out to be a hidden threat.
Oh my god. What am I watching?
3 units of Russian military equipment never made it to the Ukrainian positions and were destroyed without a single shot fired. Minefields are a highly effective means of defense,
Yeah.
widely used since the First World War. In the chaos of war, if you don't know the layout of the minefields, you can lose a significant portion
Yep.
of your advancing army without even reaching the battlefield. For example, the armor of this Russian tank withstood a direct hit from a javelin, and it continued moving forward.
Impressive. That's impressive.
Perhaps if it had stayed on the road, it might have survived, but it chose a different path.
Oh,
The
my
mine
God.
explosion disabled the tank, but the crew managed to escape and the Russians quickly fled, abandoning the vehicle on the battlefield. Mines are one of the most powerful means of destroying armored vehicles and tanks. Once the target can no longer move, it is relatively easy to finish it off using drones or other means of destruction. Military analysts estimate that during World War II, about 15 to 20% of tank losses on the Eastern Front were caused by mines. And in modern warfare, we increasingly see mines being combined with drones.
Yeah, that's.
What the first didn't destroy, the second will finish off.
Oh my god.
Perhaps this is exactly what happened to this tank. When it was spotted by the Ukrainian reconnaissance drone, it was already damaged and smoke was coming from it. But it didn't remain intact for long. Within a few minutes, it was destroyed by a cluster munition. Notice how high its turret was thrown into the air. Russian forces have been intensively attacking Ukrainian positions, with the Donetsk direction being the most dangerous. For every foot of territory, the Russian Federation is willing to sacrifice hundreds or
Yeah.
even thousands of soldiers' lives.
Yeah,
and
man, that's how they do stuff, huh? That's how they do stuff. They just don't give a damn. They just. Man, it's sad to see, bro, but that's how they do this stuff, man.
dozens of military vehicles. Due to sanctions, Russia cannot provide its army with a technological advantage, so it
I just want to make sure that we have more leopards, right? Hopefully, right? I want to see more of the leopard.
tries to compensate with sheer numbers. Ukrainians, on the other hand, have limited resources, so they counter the enemy with ingenuity and technology.
Yeah, that's all they.
But the
they
enemy
have.
is also adapting and learning. Increasingly on the battlefield, we see various modifications of tanks and APCs with added protection against drones. Destroying such a mutant is much more challenging than a standard tank. For example, this modified T-72
Yo,
is fully
yo, look
covered
at
with
that. We're going back to World War One, huh? That's basically a World War One tank right there. That's a German World War One tank right there.
additional shielding to the point that it can't even rotate its turret. This upgrade was intended as an impenetrable defense against aerial attacks, but in practice,
It doesn't work.
most of these modified tanks are still destroyed by FPV drones. Now, however, Ukrainian drone operators have to choose their strike points more carefully. In addition, it now takes 2 or sometimes even more drones to take out a single tank.
Well, that's an improvement from the Russian part, I
The
guess.
first strike stops this multi-ton machine of destruction by damaging its tracks. And then the drone operator can aim at a vulnerable spot to finish it off.
I think the rest is just a drone, but we saw the Leopard at the beginning. That monster is just a monster, man. Like, in a weird way, is right here, right?
In its range. The remaining takes out the lead vehicles in the column and continues firing on targets within its range.
Yo,
The
Germans
remaining-
don't play with that technology, man. They don't play, man. That's a real tank, man. Golly.
Unaware that a Ukrainian Leopard tank is waiting for them.
Damn. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next one.